It was during the memorial service. When I checked the pet camera installed at home, an unbelievable scene jumped into my sight. Hey, is this okay? Catherine's going to cry, isn't she? It's fine. It's boring with her anyway. Why are Robert and my sister together? And this is the two of them naked on the sofa. I squinted spontaneously. I never imagined that I would see my husband and my own sister's affair. On the day of my grandfather's memorial service, the two of them, completely unaware of the camera, continued their conversation. Not just about Catherine, but it's uncomfortable like being a son-in-law. I mean, I can't be free. I know, right? My parents are so meticulous. They get along well with the virtuous Catherine. But we need to handle the inheritance issue well too. Yeah, I should have married you, Emily. Even in bed, you are amazing. Really? My sister, not all bad, planted a kiss on Robert's cheek. Robert let out a sloppy sound and wrapped his arm around my sister's shoulder. I nearly dropped the tablet, but I held back. Among the merry chatter of my relatives, I was the only one witnessing such a thing, my mind calm, past the point of anger. I turned up the volume on the tablet all at once. At the same time, my sister's sensual voice echoes. Immediately after, the relatives all turned towards me. Currently, I live alone with my husband, Robert. Robert is a company employee and I'm a homemaker, leading a very ordinary life. As for children, because Robert is busy with work, we've settled on not having them for now. I was well aware that Robert's work was busy and I agreed, because I understood that it was an important time to see whether he could get promoted. Instead, we brought a Pomeranian named Max from my parents' house. I lived at home until I got married, so Max was very attached to me. Since Robert also agreed, it became a life for two of us and a dog. With Max around, it was cheerful and I felt calm. Also, I became friendly with my in-laws, who live nearby because of the dog. At my in-laws' house, there was a Maltese named Bella, who was very friendly. She quickly got used to me and Max. And this led me having a lot of conversations with my in-laws. Since then, we have been aligning our working times and going to the dog park together. However, a month ago, Max passed away due to illness. After Max, who had been my emotional support, crossed the rainbow bridge, I was truly depressed. I was a housewife, but I could hardly do anything around the house. Robert, on the other hand, didn't say anything, nor did he provide any emotional support. However, my in-laws were worried about me. They invited me to walk Bella or to their house. Through the kindness of my in-laws and the loveliness of Bella, I was able to gradually recover. But I still couldn't put away Max's toy or the pet camera. If I put them away, it felt like Max would really be gone. Looking at the stuffed animal with Max's bite mark, I let out a sigh. Max, I want to see you again. The incident occurred on a bright sunny day. While I was vacuuming, the doorbell rang. I thought it might be a courier and looked at the monitor. The person there was... No way, sis? Hey, Catherine, you're there, right? Open up. She has the kind of face that anybody can tell she's beautiful at first glance. and she was wearing a dress that did not skimp on showing of her skin. It was unmistakably my sister. My sister and I don't look or act alike, and we don't have anything in common. Moreover, she has a bad habit. She isn't satisfied until she takes what belongs to others, and that includes my boyfriends. She took my boyfriend multiple times, and each time I confronted her about it. However, she always responded nonchalantly, "Isn't it the fault of the person who inclines?" I thought I could finally relax when she got married and moved far away, but when I reluctantly opened the door, my sister greeted me with a grin. Her bright rose-colored lipstick suited her well, which just made me more angry. "I came back home, so I wanted to drop by." "You came back? Did you get divorced?" "Not quite. We are just having a little fight. Now, let me come in." As she said this, she took off her high heels and brazenly stepped into my house. She has always hated animals and never visited my house. But she must have heard about Max's death from our parents. She didn't seem to notice my bitter expression and looked around the room with delight. "Nice room. Robert's parents live nearby too, right?" "Yes, our house is about halfway between our parents' house and Robert's parents' house." "Huh. It's pretty cocky to build a house near your husband's parents' home." While uttering words that felt like little pricks, she gazed at our wedding picture displayed on the shelf. Unexpectedly, my sister traced her finger over Robert's face in the photograph. Seeing this, I felt a chill run down my spine. She wouldn't possibly try to take my husband, would she? I quickly tried to come to my senses even I thought so. My sister tended to like muscular men. Robert was quite slim, so he probably wouldn't be her type. Even I knew this, seeing my sister's back made me uneasy. A few days after my sister's arrival, we had a memorial service for my grandfather. Amazingly, my in-laws said they would help. It's not that special thing around the rural area, but it was a great relief. "I'm sorry for that trouble, Father, and thank you." "I had connections with business with your grandfather, Catherine, and I was planning to attend anyway, so I thought it would be better if I could help." "I really appreciate it. I wish my sister could learn from you." Indeed. Believe it or not, my sister said I don't have time to spend on that deceased, and reportedly went off somewhere. I thought my sister was behaving strangely, but it might be better than her disrupting the ceremony. When I was preparing food after the memorial service, I was called by my cousin's children. Apparently, they wanted to see Max. Their innocent words slightly hurt my heart, but I couldn't blame the children. Max has gone to heaven, but I have photos and videos. Would you like to see them? I handed them the tablet I had brought with me and explained how to use it simply. This tablet had many videos of Max from the pet camera and the ones I took myself. The children immediately quieted down and were all glued to the tablet screen. I understand that there are pros and cons to letting children use the internet, but I thought that if it could keep them quiet, I would leave the babysitting to the tablet for now. I went to the kitchen to help my mother. Just as I was about to bring the alcohol, my eyes landed on the gas stove. It seems like someone had left water boiling in the kettle and had walked away leaving the fire on. In my haste to turn it off, I accidentally scorched the sleeve of my morning dress. Oh no, the fire! Fire? Thinking that my startled mother had heard me, the next moment water was suddenly thrown. As I stood there, wide-eyed, my worried mother approached. I'm sorry, I heard fire and panicked. Oh, you're all wet. What should we do? It's okay, Mom. I'll have Robert bring something from home. But... It's fine. I'll call him now. Although Robert was scheduled to attend a memorial service, he had to take a nap first because his urgent work went until midnight. I thought he would be awake by this time, so I called him, but he didn't answer. But our home is only 20 minutes away by car, and it's too far to walk. I was thinking of doing something as it is, but then I remembered about the pet camera. The camera is in the living room, so if Robert is awake, I would be able to see him. If he is not there yet, I'll have to call him until he wakes up. I asked the children to return the tablet and open the app. When I opened it, I could see someone on the living room sofa. I was about to call Robert, thinking he was awake, when another person appeared in the camera. Is this my sister? When I zoomed in on the camera, it was definitely my sister. I connected my earphones to the tablet and listened to the sound. Hey, is this okay? Isn't Catherine going to cry? It's fine. It's boring being with her. Why are Robert and my sister together? I was completely frozen by the shocking scene on the pet camera. Robert was topless and for some reason. My sister, Emily, was wearing a lab coat like a female doctor. They were sitting on the sofa with a distance like that of lovers. I never thought I would witness the affair of my husband and my real sister. On the day of my grandfather's memorial service, the two of them, completely unaware of the camera, continued their conversation. Not just about Catherine, but it feels uncomfortable, like I'm adopted into the family. I feel like I can't be free. I get it. Our parents are so detailed. They get along with Catherine, who only has her sincerity. Well, but there is also the inheritance issue, so we have to handle it well. True. I should have married you. The bed with you is also amazing. My sister, not completely displeased, kissed Robert on the cheek. Robert let out a sloppy voice and wrapped his arm around my sister. I nearly dropped the tablet I was holding, but somehow managed to hold on. I can't believe it. I will never forgive them. Robert, you are a bad boy. Huh? They started flirting so blatantly that I couldn't help but yell at them. Just when I thought I was going to break into the house, even if I had to walk there, a loud noise came from behind. I took off my earphones and turned around in a panic. I found my mother-in-law standing there with a pale face. Could she have seen it? That's my son and that's Emily, right? Well, I don't intend it to hide it, but I don't want to upset my mother-in-law. As I tried to approach my mother-in-law, my earphone fell out. Such a naughty boy! I'll have to check up here. The screen clearly showed my sister, who is about to put her hand on Robert's pants. Although I was thinking, why now of all times? I tried to stop the video quickly, but it was my mother-in-law who stopped me. Not understanding the meaning of her action, I looked at my mother-in-law, who was shaking her head with a blue face. We shouldn't stop it. This can serve as evidence, so let's keep recording the whole thing. My mother-in-law's action from that point were swift. She immediately called for my father-in-law and my parents to see the video, and instructed my cousin to take the children to another room. As everyone gathered to watch the video, awful words began to fly out one after another. Our family is nothing but country bumpkins. I'm only interested in the money we've managed to save up. Marriage is so boring, and so on, all of which made us want to cover our ears. After a while, my father-in-law stood up with a red face. Let's go home. I'll drive the car. Everyone nodded and agreed, and we headed for our house. Of course, the camera was kept recording. When we arrived home, the lights in the living room were on. As we approached the front door, we could hear a voice loudly hinting that they were in the midst of something. Catherine, you stay in the back. The key was taken by my father-in-law, and I followed his instruction to go to the back. My mother-in-law rubbed my shoulder to make me feel better, and I felt slightly better. When we entered the room, Emily was on top of Robert on the sofa. Robert, what are you doing? Huh? Dad? My sister instantly realized the situation and tried to run away with her clothes, but was caught by my father. After attempting to escape for a while, she was silenced by my mother's slap. My mother looked at my sister with fiery eyes, making my chest tighten. Afterwards, my sister and Robert were made to sit formally in the living room and explain the entire situation. My sister was initially attracted to Robert's income. She had never been with his type before, but she was tired of her marriage and approached him for a taste of something different. As for Robert, he had always had a liking for older women and cosplay, and that didn't change after our marriage. Apparently, he quickly accepted my sister's seduction because of his interest. Their ridiculous reasons left us all completely drained. I can't believe it. You still haven't gotten over your habit of laying hands on what isn't yours. It's the person who fell for it that's at fault. Enough. You are also responsible for seducing him. Grow up already. Yeah, Catherine. You'll forgive me, right? Hell no, you pervert. As I scolded them, the two of them shrunk even more. A few months after the ridiculous incident, I started attending a school to become a certified groomer. It's hard with so much to learn, but it's fun to be involved with something I love. There are people at the school who also have experienced divorce, and we quickly became good friends. Afterwards, I demanded compensation from Robert and my sister and divorced him. Naturally, I have cut off all ties with the two of them. As for Robert, he lost his job because he was hired through my father-in-law's connections. Given these circumstances, he was severely criticized within the company. At first, he seems to be living with my sister, but their relationship quickly deteriorated and they separated. As for my sister, she's been hopping from job to job in the entertainment business. Despite being in customer service, her self-centered personality persists and she seems unable to hold a job for long. And my in-laws. Catherine, long time no see. We've finished moving, so feel free to visit if you'd like. Yes, I'd love to come by. I want to see Bella too. Of course, Bella has been quite popular recently. My in-laws sold their house and started a new life elsewhere. It seems to be a new apartment with a dog park nearby. With this change, my mother-in-law started an SNS account to post Bella's daily life, which has become very popular. Apparently, Bella has become something like a star. I ended the call saying my next class was about to start, and struck the head of my dear Max set as my phone's wallpaper. It was too tough to look back at his photos, but thanks to the pet camera and Max, I found out about Robert's affair. I think Max must have cut off the bad relationship for me. Max, I will do my best. With that, I took a new step forward, promising my most beloved family member